Hey, what's up? My name's Justin here with 65 Drums. Today's an electronic drum news segment. I want to keep you guys up to date on everything happening in the world of electronic drum news. And Yamaha and Alesis basically came out with a bunch of new drum sets on like the same day at around the same price range. It's all sub $800, and so it's definitely worth talking about. I'm going to give you a quick recap of all three different versions of the brand new DTX402 series and the new Alesis Nitro Mesh. So let's jump into it, starting off with Yamaha, because honestly, a lot of drummers were starting to lose faith that Yamaha even cared about electronic drums anymore. They haven't made a new set in a very long time. They've just been reselling old designs that they've had like for ages. But no, they just recently came out with a new updated version of the DTX400 line. This is the DTX402. So this is one bass drum set in three configurations. This is their brand new line, and the way to differentiate this from the older line is that there's the number 2 at the very end of the name. And of course, the pricing for this is $500, $600, and $700. So let's break down the cheapest one on the list, the DTX402k. So this comes with 4 8-inch pads for the snare and the toms. They look extremely similar to the DTX400k pads from the previous iteration of this drum set, but according to Yamaha, they're completely new. They've made the pads softer and more fun to play. And I'm very thankful for that because the previous version of these pads were very, very tough, and it's one thing that I didn't like about that drum set. This drum set also comes with 3 10-inch cymbal pads for the hi-hat, crash, and ride. The crash is chokable, the ride is single zone, but if you hit hard enough, you will hear the bell sound. And thank goodness they decided to ditch the previous look of the other cymbals, because those ones had this, gaping hole in the top of the cymbal for no reason at all. These have a nicer look to them. There's also this newly designed 4-post drum rack that's better than the previous version. It's very quick and easy to set up, also height adjustable, so you can make it playable for adults or for kids. The pads are also kind of just attached to the drum rack in the box, so it only takes like 5 or 10 minutes to set up this whole thing. For the kick drum tower, it doesn't really come with one. Instead, it has a controller pedal similar to the one on the previous version of the drum set and also the Roland TD1k. I just don't like these in general. They don't feel natural, but the way Yamaha is pitching this when they're doing their videos is they're saying this is for the silent applications. For example, if you're on the 3rd floor of an apartment, people yell at you, so you want to have something that's a little bit quieter than a regular electronic drum set. The kick drum pad is the culprit a lot of times when neighbors are complaining, especially if you're on like a couple floors up from the people that are complaining. So with this, you won't have any complaints. Now the drum module is also completely redesigned. You get 415 sounds, and about 287 of those are drum and percussion sounds. The rest are keyboard sounds, because you get like 60 play-along songs. Overall, you get about 10 internal drum sets, and you can redesign all of them. They're not static. You get 10 training features, 9 reverb effects, and as we've come to expect from Yamaha, there's very deep app integration with this drum set. So as you might expect, you can just go to your app store and download the app, whether or not you actually own the drum set, which I did. I also have used the previous version of this app for the DTX400k, and I have noticed a few differences. So let's open it up and take a look. So this one, the interface is a little bit simpler. It's a very flat look to it, and it just seems a little bit more modern. I like the look of this one a little bit more. Now they are emphasizing their training features and their challenge features. So they want to make this feel a little bit more like a game. So for challenge, you can like click on a song and there's different lessons within it. When you press this movie button, it just brings up like a YouTube video that they have. And then over in training, there's the different training features: recorder, rhythm gates, there's also dynamic gates, song part gates, song record gate. Now over at the play section, they have different, play along songs here. A lot of them do sound kind of generic, but all electronic drum play along songs are generic. One guy emailed me asking whether or not he should upgrade his drum module to get better play along songs. If you want to get better play along songs, like basically drumless tracks, just go on YouTube and type in the name of whatever song you want to play along to, and then at the end of the name of the song, just type in drumless version. You'll get all the songs you could ever want to play along to on YouTube for free. But if you want to edit your drum set and basically have a touch interface over the drum module, all you gotta do is press this edit kit button, and now you can select whatever you want to edit by either scrolling down or just pressing on any of the drums you want. So you can press on the snare and decide which one of the snare pads you want. If you go over here to detail, you can pan the sounds, adjust the volume, tune the sound up and down, you can mute it, reverb send, and you can do this for all the different elements. And then also there's different reverb types. You have hall, studio, room 1, room 2, stage, small stage, stuff like that. So you do have some legit control over this drum module and a really easy to see factor. Now all that is just sound editing. What if you want to like adjust the trigger presets? All you gotta do is you gotta press this button up here and then go over to like trigger settings. And now you can adjust crosstalk, gain, minimum level, and you do this for all the different individual elements. You can adjust the pad curve. This is all stuff that other electronic drum sets around this price range usually just don't have. And then you can even adjust the hi-hat settings. They have splash sensitivity, a foot close position, all that fun stuff. And then if you go over here to settings, they even have a little bit of EQ, you know, high and low, mono, stereo, and voice guidance volume. I'm not exactly sure what that's for. And of course, the privacy policy and the end user agreement, which is all stuff we really want to know about. So yeah, this app does let you do quite a few things. Also, you can download their record and share app, which is basically a way for you to record yourself drumming on your phone. So it picks up the audio of you drumming, and then you can affect the volume of the song that you were playing to after the recording is already finished. Okay, so back to the other versions of this drum set. We've been analyzing the $500 version, but they also have the DTX432k and the 532k. So let's go over to the 432k. It's $100 more, and really the only upgrade is you get an actual kick drum tower. And then with the next version, the 452k, you get a kick drum tower, and then you also get a 3-zone snare. So taking a step back and looking at all these 3 drum sets, I'd have to say they definitely are a nice improvement, but it's an incremental improvement. It's not a giant leap forward. It's not like groundbreaking or anything. The cymbals look nicer, the pads feel better to play on, they're a little bit softer, and the sounds are probably about the best you can get for this price range. It's either this or the Roland TD1 drum module that has that title. Okay, so that's all good stuff, but in today's very competitive electronic drum market where new electronic drum sets are coming out all the time, they're getting larger, they're getting cheaper, I'm not sure that Yamaha did enough to make drummers excited about this new line. I'm concerned especially about the DTX400 and 52k. These are all rubber pads, and they're trying to charge you $700 for it, and the drum module only gives you 10 kits. If you spent $100 more, you could buy the DTX522k, and that would give you 3-zone cymbals, sound layering, more sounds, sample import, the ability to add extra pads. So that version of the drum set literally makes no sense when you could just spend $100 more and get something that's literally twice as good. Now, of course, we know that companies do this sort of stuff all the time. They position different drum sets at different prices to try to get you to buy certain ones. And I'd say they want us to buy the DTX432k because it gives you the kick drum tower, but it doesn't cost $700. So yeah, that's probably the one that most people are going to buy if they want to buy the DTX402 line. But I've got to say, they priced all these drum sets too high. The DTX450k should be $500 just because it's too competitive out there. The drum sets that are coming out are getting so good that they need to stand apart from the competition, and charging $700 for a $500 drum set isn't really the way to do it. Okay, so now you're caught up to date on all the brand new Yamaha drum sets. Let's switch over to the brand new Alesis drum set. This is the Alesis Nitro Mesh. For $350, you're getting a drum set the exact same size as the DTX402k that we've been talking about. So you're getting an 8-inch snare and 8-inch tom pads. You get 10-inch cymbals, and this kit gives you actual mesh pads and an actual kick drum tower. The drum module is the Alesis Nitro, and I've actually covered this in previous videos, including the one on the Alesis Surge. So if you want to really go in depth on the drum module, go check out that video and hear sound examples of what it actually sounds like. It gives you 385 sounds, 40 drum kits, MIDI in and out, also USB MIDI, and you get 2 extra inputs, so you can plug in an extra tom and an extra crash cymbal. This set is basically the Alesis Surge drum set that I covered in the last video, except that the snare is like 2 inches smaller, and it's got a rubber kick drum pad instead of a mesh kick drum pad. Honestly, this drum set is ridiculous. I have no idea how they're making a drum set this cheap. It's only like $50 more than the Alesis Nitro, which has all rubber pads. So what you're seeing here is 2 completely different approaches to electronic drums. Alesis took a bunch of different components they already had, and they made it in a package as low in price as they possibly could make it. And it's actually kind of impressive how they could make a drum set with all mesh pads for this amount of money. It's actually kind of shocking to me. Meanwhile, Yamaha actually took the time to make a brand new app, a brand new drum module, brand new cymbals, brand new drums, brand new drum rack. This is a brand new drum set all in all. They actually took time to actually create something brand new. And they're charging a bunch of money for it. And the problem is they've priced it as if it's still 2009 in the electronic drum market. Meanwhile, Alesis is in a race to the bottom. They're trying to make all of their drum sets as cheap as humanly possible. And we do know that electronic drums, at least from Alesis on the low end, they do have the reputation for, at least some people have had instances of them breaking after like a year or two of use. So you might buy this Alesis Nitro Mesh as like a beginner drum set, almost like a burner drum set. If you're not sure if electronic drums are for you, or maybe your kid is learning electronic drums, it might be something to buy for them. If they're really serious about drumming, then you save up, then you buy a TD17kV and make that like their legit drum set that they play for 5 or 10 years. But you don't buy the Alesis Nitro Mesh as something you think you're going to play for a decade. It's not going to happen. The Yamaha drum set will last a long time, but man, it's just a rubber pad drum set for $700. So I want to know what you guys think of these two drum sets. Do you like the Yamaha one? Do you think like you have to pay for the quality and that's why it's that expensive? Or do you like the Alesis one? Do you think that it's just a great drum set to learn on and then maybe invest in a better drum set later on? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Have an amazing day, everybody, and I'll see you in a few.